Dallas.
Let's take about 2 more questions, and
Yeah,
we need to let Larry have a chance.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
What
Or,
about
yep.
the problems with the Dallas County Jail? I know there were some problems recently about the overtime that people in the sheriff's department were getting. What was the question? About the problems with the Dallas County Jail, the overcrowding?
Okay. Well, the chief problem, did you ask me about the overtime or the overcrowding?
Both.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, let's take the overcrowding. What's happening there is we're not under, we have not satisfied under a court order the federal rules and the state rules for jail standards. All right, and this is one of the things that we've done well as a county under Lupe's leadership, and the Commissioner's Court has done a good job on this. As far as when we had a Republican sheriff, we had hundreds of deficiencies. We have a few now, and the main deficiency is not Lupe's fault. The main deficiency is a lack of maintenance of a filtration system dealing with the HVAC system, which is under actually the purview of another county department, which is directly under the Commissioner's Court. So that's something that I can immediately step in and work to give her more help with. We need to do that, and that's an example of one of the things we need to do, because we save money in the long run, and we do away with overcrowding when we actually comply with those laws. Besides that, I'm big on everybody having equal civil and human rights, and I want to protect the human rights and civil rights of the people in the jails as well. I don't want to coddle criminals, but when the Bush White House sues you in federal court and wins the federal court lawsuit saying you're violating people's rights that are incarcerated, there's got to be something wrong. So we are I'm gonna work with the sheriff, who's doing a great job to get that out from under federal oversight. As far as the overtime, what was the other question? Was overtime?
There was something I heard in the news, I don't know exactly about. There was something about a lot of people were getting too much overtime or something. I don't know exactly what it was.
Well, from what I can recall, the officers are complaining.
Right, the officers are complaining.
Yeah.
Again, here's a place where somebody that has the trust of all sides can help you out. On the one hand, you've got the officers and their representation that don't want to leave, or that want to leave the floor to have lunch. On the other hand, you've got the Commissioner's Court that says, if you leave the floor to have lunch, we're short on guards. We don't want you to guard anybody at this time, but we want you to be in this room. Well, the police say, well, now wait a second, if I have to be in a certain place and I'm on duty, I'm not getting my time off. So you've got that log jam. Well, I'm supported by labor unions, for instance. The police I don't even know which union they're in, but I've received money from and recommendations from labor unions. Can't endorse until after a certain point, but I've received recommendations from labor unions. So I have the trust of people that represent working folks. But I also have the trust of the Democrats that are on the Commissioner's Court. So when we have to, and that's the way all these problems with the county are going to get solved. When we're sitting around a table trying to work out our differences, you've got to have the trust. You're not always going to agree, but they have to believe that you're an honest broker and a servant leader in order to get the best results to move us forward. Should I take one more, or is that it?
I think it's time to get to your daughter's part.
Good. Thank you so much.